Hey guys, welcome back for another video. We're going to be breaking down one of our round one playoff matchups we have coming up for the 2024 college football playoff season. We're going to be breaking down our Tennessee Volunteers versus Ohio State Buckeyes matchup we have. This is the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, we already have the four highest ranked conference champions. They all get bye weeks this week, but the other 8 teams are all battling it out, trying to see who gets the matchup with them in week 2. We're going to be breaking down Tennessee versus Ohio State. Who's going to win this matchup? Who's going to lose this matchup? We'll try to predict the outcome, try to predict the final score, and we'll also take a look at the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Every week, we're going over every single college football game, the bowl games, the playoff games. We completely break them down and do the best bets, and we also do the same thing for every NFL game every single week as well. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I was saying, this game is going to be the final game on Saturday. We already have predictions videos for the other 3 playoff games. This one's going to be ABC, Saturday, December 21st at 8 p.m. Number 9, Tennessee Volunteers, 10-2. They did not make the SEC championship versus number 8, Ohio State Buckeyes, also 10-2, did not make the Big Ten championship. This might be the best top-to-bottom matchup in the playoffs for Week 1. This is 2 massive brands, but it's the SEC versus the Big Ten, the 2 power conferences, the 2 best, the 2 deepest conferences in all of college football. Who's going to come out on top? They're both representing each of their respective brands, their respective conferences. Right now, the Buckeyes have a 65.5% chance to win this game. They are 7.5-point favorites. Over here is 45.5. Both of these teams have the same thing on the line, but I would honestly say there's more pressure on Ryan Day. He's coming off of a loss at home to Michigan. Again, what was that, the 4th straight year? He has shown a lack of ability to win the big game. The fans are rabid right now. This game is going to be at Ohio State. The Buckeyes have home field advantage. If they drop back-to-back games, if he loses this one, his seat is going to be scorching hot. I don't know if he's your coach come next season if he loses this game to Tennessee. People are saying Ryan Day cannot win the big game. He can't win versus the SEC. He has to prove it here. He has to beat a top 10 SEC team. He has to just get a win versus a power program. He has no room for error here. He has to win this game. The pressure is on him. Mounting pressure, scorching hot seat. That pressure is not on Josh Heupel. Yes, Josh Heupel has pressure. He's the head coach for Tennessee, but he's not under the type of pressure Ohio State is. They have $20 million NIL invested in this team. Tennessee, Josh Heupel, one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. He has a young quarterback, Nico there at quarterback. The fact that they made the playoffs, that's an accomplishment. But really, the sky is the ceiling right now for the team. They have an elite top 10 type of defense. Top 10 in sacks, top 10 in quarterback pressures, top 10 in tackles for a loss. That defense alone can potentially carry this team all the way to the national championship. However, they were lighting things up the first couple weeks. They were in non-conference play, blowing people out, shutting people out. And then SEC conference play started, and this was not the same team. They looked the same on defense. Their defense was still getting after it every single game, but the offense completely sputtered out down the stretch, mainly due to once Nico started having a step up in competition, his production technically took a step back. Once he started to get pressure, once he started to feel the heat off the edge, he started sailing balls, throwing balls in the dirt. He wasn't as accurate as he previously was. A lot of it looks like it's a little mental, just panicking in there, but he's a young quarterback. He made some big throws, but he also missed some wide open throws. Right now, he's closing in on 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 picks, but do not underestimate Tennessee and this offense. They're averaging 37.3 points a game, throwing for 240.1, running for 232.5. That's pretty equal. This is one of the most rounded teams in all of college football, and they're also only giving up 13.9 points a game. That is a top 10 national defense in SEC play. Their defense showed up time and time again. They have to not underestimate the Buckeyes here. This is a massive game. You want to win this game, come prepared. But if they win this game, it's going to be Nico making plays when he needs to make plays, but it's going to mainly be led by that defense, especially if their defense can generate some turnovers versus the Buckeyes. They give up 194.6 passing yards, only 99.6 on the ground. One of the best rush defenses in the nation, a top 10 run defense. The Buckeyes have a pretty good running back tandem there. They are loaded at the running back position, but their offensive line is banged up. Can Tennessee get consistent pressure on Will Howard? Don't forget, Will Howard is a mobile, scrambling quarterback. He can throw it, But his main X factor is his legs, scrambling for first down, extending plays with his legs. Can Tennessee off the edge keep him bottled up, keep him in the pocket, force this into a pass-heavy game, put him in a third and long situations? Right now, Will Howard closing on 2,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 picks. But don't forget, this is with one of the best, if not the best wide receiver core in the nation. The Buckeyes, this isn't the offense they had under Stroud, but it's a decent offense. They're averaging 35.5 points a game, throwing for 260.6, running for 169.2. The first half of the season, they were lighting it up on the ground. Like I mentioned before, one of the best 1-2 running back tandems in the nation. But their offensive line is really banged up. They're down 2 to 3 starters on the offensive line right now. That's going to hurt the ground game. That's going to hurt the protection for Howard. It's going to help Tennessee and their pass rush, which is already elite. One thing the Buckeyes do have going for them is they have the number 1 defense in the nation, only giving up 10.9 points per game. This defense is disgusting. They brought back 8 starters from the number 2 overall defense last season, and they added to it through the portal. They get after it. They have a mission this season, win the national championship. They're definitely paying the money to potentially win the national championship, but we're going to have to see that product materialize on the field. One of the best overall defenses, only giving up 163.5 passing yards per game. That is an elite secondary. They are loaded at corner, they're loaded at safety, and they're only giving up 96.8 on the ground. The Big Ten loves to run the ball, and the Buckeyes know how to slow down the run game. But Tennessee, they have a top 10 rushing team in the nation, averaging just under 240 yards per game. The Buckeyes only give up 96. So they give almost 1/3 of what Tennessee averages. This is strength on strength. Who's going to dominate at the line of scrimmage in the trenches? A rushing heavy team versus a team that shuts down the run game. Someone has to come out on top. It's going to be the most physical team. SEC versus Big Ten. Who's going to win the physicality batter? Looking at the playmakers, Tennessee, Nico closing on 2,600 yards. They have Dylan Sampson. He's been lighting it up. Leads the SEC in rushing. 1,500 rushing yards, 22 total touchdowns. Ridiculous numbers. They have Thornton Jr., Squirrel White. They have a pretty deep wide receiver core, but Nico's going to have to play better, and he might feel a lot of pressure this game versus that Buckeyes defense. This is going to be the best defense Tennessee's played. The Buckeyes have already played some really good defenses. The Ducks, Penn State, they've been there, done that. But their offense didn't step. It's not like their offense stepped up those games and led the way. They were moving the ball versus the Ducks, but the Buckeyes defense, the Buckeyes offense has not been elite and consistent this season. Actually, both teams have not had consistent offenses. We're going to have to see some consistency from the winner this weekend. Looking at the Buckeyes playmakers, Howard, Junkins, Henderson, Smith, Egbuka, like I previously said, one of the best wide receiver cores in the nation, but Will Howard needs time. He needs that patched up offensive line to hold up so that he can throw the ball up to those playmakers. You don't have to be elite accurate. Put it within a realm for them to make a play, but they got to get that run game going to open up the play action. And Tennessee's going to make life very, very difficult on the ground. I personally don't want to go anywhere near this game. I could honestly see either side winning this game. Both of them very similar seasons. High highs, low lows. Obviously, the Buckeyes' low was their last game, Michigan. And then Tennessee's low is probably the Arkansas loss. Which team is going to show up here? Are we going to see the good version of Tennessee or the average version? Are we going to see the good version of the Buckeyes or the average version? The Buckeyes are at home. That should give them the edge. It's probably going to be pretty cold here. But Tennessee gets cold. It doesn't get Ohio cold, but it gets cold enough to where they are familiar with playing in the cooler weather. We're going to have to see the Buckeyes fans being rabid there. Give them that home field advantage. So what's the outcome that I have? I have this being a hard-fought, physical game. Tennessee might have the lead first half. I ultimately, for some reason, think the Buckeyes and Ryan Day finally get a win. They win it in the fourth quarter at the end of the fourth. Could be a field goal that wins them the game. They win this one 24-21. I'm going with the plus 7.5, and we're slightly going with the under. But this game is very evenly matched. Very good playoff game. Shows you how good this 12-team playoff could be. Either one of these teams can win this one round one. So that's our breakdown. That's our prediction for the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.